Is DMX ever gonna get it right? Ever? What's going on, YouTube? I'm Nick Rose. Today I want to talk a little bit about DMX. This past week, on the 11th of August, that was a Friday, DMX was in trouble yet again. He went to court because he owes $1 million in taxes, and he's having a lot of legal issues because he was in trouble for tax evasion. He showed up to the court 30 minutes late in New York, and they gave him 4 different drug tests, all of which he failed for pot and cocaine. Now, we know that DMX has been a crackhead in the past. He's had trouble with all sorts of drugs. Today, let's talk about whether or not we think he will ever get it right again. So, just a side note, not only did he fail the drug tests, but it seems like overall DMX just does not care anymore. Not only did he fail the drug tests, but he got in trouble for leaving the state without permission because his probation states that he needs to ask the courts for permission in order to leave the state. He went to Iowa, never asked, and obviously that was a big problem. So they're gonna get him with all of these things in court at a later date, but for now they placed DMX on house arrest. But it's like, come on, man, will he ever learn? This man, at some point in his career, was on top of the world. I mean, no one could touch DMX. He is still, to this day, the 3rd best selling rapper of all time. That's amazing. That is incredible. Like I said, he is the 3rd best selling of all time, which means that he is a multi-platinum artist. He is also tied for first place for having his first 3 albums hit #1 on the Billboard charts. There's only one person that's ever done that. As far as record sales go, he has sold 17.1 million records domestically and 74 million internationally. Worldwide, DMX has sold 74 million albums. As far as how much artists make from each record sale, it differentiates depending on their contract, but a rough estimate would be that he made somewhere around $73 million just from his sales. That doesn't include his tours, his shows, any merchandise he's sold, endorsement deals he had back in the 90s. That does not include any of that. Just from record sales, he has made an estimated $73 million. And guess what? He is now $10 million in debt. That means that DMX has probably blown through over $100 million to this day, and now the man is in debt. I was actually reading something earlier about one of his sons. He sold all of DMX's platinum records on eBay to try to kickstart his own career, which is I'm not going to say that DMX is a good dad or that he's a good guy, but to do that, to go behind his back, I believe is wrong. Just my opinion. I don't really know their dynamic. I don't know their personal lives, what's transpired between the two of them, so maybe he was doing it in the right, but I know he certainly did it behind DMX's back. After all these years of arrests and drug abuse, now he's $10 million in debt. He's on trial for $1 million worth of tax evasion. Will he ever recover? How can DMX kick back from this? I don't think he can. Even if he started touring today, he's probably lost about 2/3 of his fans just from his behavior. The younger generation doesn't really know him. He certainly hasn't stayed relevant because of his legal issues and his drug use. So how could he ever recover? Could he write a book? Maybe, but that's not going to even get him out of his $10 million in debt. So even if he were to make another $10 million, he would have to go past that to get himself out of debt. So I don't think DMX can ever recover. I do believe that given some time, if he got clean and really tried to work it out, I do believe that he can get himself out of debt at the very least. Now, because of his level of fame, I do believe that he could always earn a living. He may not sell records like Jay-Z or some of the other old heads, Kanye, whoever, but he can earn a living. There's no reason why DMX can't make 100, 200, 300 grand a year. I mean, it's DMX. People will pay for his shows. He's not going to be a stadium rapper, but if he gets his act together, he can make a living. So what it comes down to is whether or not this guy could get his life together. And to be honest with you, I don't think he can. I think he's too far gone. A couple years back, it might have been on Oprah, I think, they sat DMX down with his son. I very vividly remember watching this video. They sat DMX down with his son, and his son said, basically he said, "Dad, I want to be in your life, but I want you to get clean. I can't be around you while I know that you're killing yourself and that you're doing the drugs. So if you can get clean for me, we can have a relationship." And without even thinking, without a second thought, DMX said, "If you don't like me the way I am, then go scratch." He said that he wanted nothing to do with his son if he didn't like him for the guy he is.
A relationship. A healthy relationship with you. Can we have that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've...
Clean, completely clean.
What do you mean?
You.
That's what you're asking me for?
Because that's the only way it's gonna happen. How are we gonna have a nice, healthy relationship if you're toxic?
Toxic. Well, if there's gonna be a condition, if there's gonna be a demand, when all I've given you is unconditional love, I'm not gonna allow that.
Because either way, I'm fine. I've made peace with it.
Yeah, cool. You know what? That's how you feel. I'm gonna respect that. That's how you feel. I'm gonna respect that. But that's some bull. I love you. I'm always gonna love you. I love who I am. I'm not gonna change for anyone.
That is how much these drugs, that's how much he's dedicated to his addiction. That's how much it's taken over the man that he is today. He is in such a rut. He's in this pattern of self-destruction and abuse that I don't think he'll ever get out of it. If he could push his own children to the side for his addiction, I don't think that there is any saving this guy. His life, his way of thought, it's just too far gone. The fact that he was one time on top of the world and now he's on the bottom, how could he even mentally come back from that? Even if, like I said, even if physically he came back, mentally, he's gone, man. There is no getting DMX out of this rut. He needs to want to help himself. And as of right now, obviously, he doesn't. As unfortunate as it is, the legend that was DMX, that guy that we grew up with in the late 90s, the early 2000s, with X Gonna Give It To You, and all of his other amazing hit songs that he came out with back then. I was born in 93, so I grew up listening to DMX. That was one of the first albums I actually ever owned. I took it from my older brother, and I loved it, man, right from the get. And I don't think that we'll ever again get the legend. I don't think we'll ever again get the man. As sad as it is, this man is just too far gone. Guys, I know it was a short one. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.